Hipper here. So if I could choose a video to show you the virtues of an Agile Edinburgh and Edinburgh in general, I would pick this video here. So I'm using Tenant with a Sure Lane Baltimore and Tagao, and I have all the rudder and speed perks selected, of course, because I'm going to go with a full Agile build. And since the last update, I have changed aiming 1 to main battery 3 to get better turret rotation, because Edinburgh was getting too slow. It was nearly 24 seconds and that was too slow. So you have to give up precision for turret rotation. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. See, now I have 21 seconds and that's a lot better. My reload is up from 6.5 to 6.9, and wow, nobody's going to notice that at all. Maneuverability 1.9 second rudder shift and 37 knots, so that's pretty good. And look at that 30mm bow armor there. Well, not just bow, pretty much the whole ship is 30mm. And that is an ace up Edinburgh's sleeve, and of course an ace you get to take advantage of even if you have an Agile build on this ship. That doesn't change the armor. So and I'll show that in this video here. Yeah, just notice that you can bow tank pretty much any battleship in the ship except for Yamato and Georgia, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those are the only two. So this is one of those rare 3 versus 3, and I don't know why this battle is 3 versus 3, but there we are. So we have an Iowa, a Yamato, and a Suzuya on the enemy team. And of course the Yamato is the main problem here because he can overmatch me pretty much anywhere. But like I said, I have an Agile build on this ship. And also, like I've said before, and I've said plenty of times, having an Agile build doesn't mean that you cannot play this ship in a more traditional role. And I'll show that to the fullest in this video. That's why I said, if I could pick a video to show off the virtues of Edinburgh, and the virtues of an Agile Edinburgh in particular, this is the video to rule them all, basically. Because this is a 3 versus 3, and it's pretty much mano a mano, and it is the best player wins. That's it. There's no incoming salvos from across the map where a potato sinks you because you weren't paying attention. No. This is down to the wire. It is like a gun duel in the Old West. It's the best man wins, and I like that. And I wish we had this 3 versus 3, 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 5 versus 5 option in the game. So I have noticed that Iowa is heading over here. For some reason he thinks it's unnecessary to cap C first, which is of course a huge mistake. I don't know why. Yeah, what's going through his mind there. But anyway, I'm just going to sit here and cap first. And I'm going to turn on my sonar to expose the Suzuya while I'm still in cover. And then I'm hoping my battleships will at least take a few shots at him, which they do. So thank you very much for that. I get a torp hit on him as well, and that pretty much means the Suzuya is out of the battle already. He was going for the cap and it made sense. I mean, I'm doing the same thing, but he was just unlucky that I was first radaring him. And then I kept him spotted with sonar, while, of course, I stayed out of visual range myself. So away with him, and the enemy team is down a cruiser already. And I'm about to cap the middle cap, the most difficult cap. So they're already in a pretty bad situation here. And of course, this is Agile aggressive play in Edinburgh here. And so far, I haven't really done anything very Agile. I just moved into the cap, popped my radar, and just waited for my battleships pretty much to back me up, which they did. And then I'm just gonna wait for this Iowa to come closer, because I have to cap anyway. There's no point in me moving around. So when this Iowa is when he's within 6 kilometer range, because I have an Agile cruiser and I have a fast build, I go 37 knots. If he starts to reverse, it doesn't matter. I will still catch up. Now, if I had a stock Edinburgh that goes 30 or 32 knots, it would take much longer to catch up, which you will see here. And that would be a problem. So I remember that 30mm armor I showed you before. That means that Iowa with its 16-inch guns cannot overmatch my bow. So I have nothing to fear. See there, no damage at all. If he wants to damage me, he'll have to go for my superstructure, which he does in his final salvo, but it takes him a while to figure that out. And of course, although my bow is impenetrable, I still try to dodge as many shells as I can, because I mean, you never know. Like I said before, he could be going for the superstructure, and it's better not to be hit in the first place. So see there, I also angle my ship bow on completely once the shells arrive. Now I'm not using my rear guns here because I need to catch up to this guy as quickly as possible. The fastest way to dispose of this Iowa here is to torp him. I could kite or like evasion tank and get all guns in play, but he's bow on and it's going to take too long with guns no matter what I do. So I need to catch up and I need to torp him. So that's the third salvo there, absolutely no effect at all. And I have pretty much half the distance now. And you see, like if I was going 30 knots, he would be able to pretty much reverse to the edge of the map and take me completely out of the game here. Because obviously I cannot give up on this chase here. As soon as I turn and show broadside or try to get away, he will citadel me. So this is a fight to the death for the two of us here. And of course he fires, and I'm getting impatient. I want to get my torps off because I don't want him to bring me too far out of from the middle of the map here, because I want to go and get C, and I don't want to have to sail for hours to get back there. And another perk of Edinburgh here is the single fire torpedoes. I mean, they are fantastic. I missed one there, but that's just because I had a beer earlier, I think. No, I don't know. I'm probably just a really terrible player. So I miss him, but I have another one on this side here. So I'm gonna fire that, and while he's reloading, of course. And then I'm just gonna straighten my ship up. And if the torp doesn't take him out, then he's so low on health now, and he's on fire from my secondaries, that I'll be able to finish him off relatively quickly. Just gonna make sure I'm bow on again. And this fire here really helps, because it takes probably a minute off my troubles here. And final salvo, and the Iowa joins the Suzuya in the ship graveyard. So over at A, my battleship is still duking it out with the Yamato. So I'm going to play it safe here. I'm going to cap C first before I go to help him. I think that's the safest play. I mean, I have pretty much done my part already. There's only one ship left, and it's battleship versus battleship. So it's not like he's at a super disadvantage or anything. And like from a game winning perspective, capping C in this game here is more important. If my battleship sinks, which it does, at least I have insurance in the fact that I have a lot more points than the red team. So that's why I'm going to get this cap first. So like I said before, I love these small battles here, and especially 3 versus 3, where like you start 1 versus 1 per cap, and like I said before, it's battle of the like Wyatt Earp and like the Old West. It's 1 versus 1, and whoever loses probably loses the whole battle, just like the Suzuya did. Had he survived or played a little bit more carefully, perhaps, well, there's no telling if he had played more carefully, because then I would have taken the cap. But if he had survived, it would have been a different battle, this one here. But he was taken out almost immediately, and that left his battleships at a severe disadvantage. And of course, my problem in this battle here is that the last ship left is a Yamato, and he has 18-inch guns, and he can overmatch me anywhere. So I cannot bow tank the Yamato like I did the Iowa. He will just full out sink me immediately. And of course, that's where I thank my maker that I have an Agile build on this ship here. But first, we have to cap C here. And in the meantime, we'll just keep an eye on what's going on over at A, because perhaps my battleship might be able to take him out. Of course, that doesn't happen, but that would be nice. And like I said, we are way ahead on points. So I'm just gonna take a bit of a breather here and wait for my capping to come to an end, and then I will come to his rescue. So the other problem I have is that I'm in Edinburgh and I don't have any HE shells. Now traditionally, HE is used for burning down battleships, just like in a situation like this, where you have an almost full health Yamato and you're in a half health cruiser, like you kind of have to finish the Yamato off, and it is easier by using HE, so you can get some fires going, and while the fire is burning, you can go dark and set up another attack. But of course, Edinburgh only has AP rounds, and I'm far too far away to use torpedoes, and I don't think I want to get closer than 12 kilometers to this Yamato here, because like I said before, he can overmatch me. So I need to use my agility to win this battle here. Now that Yamato on my team, he has pretty much already done his job in this battle. In the beginning, he fired on that Suzuya and took out 2/3 of its health. And really, that's all he needed to do in this battle here. To back me up, to back his cruiser up, and he did that. And I don't know who that guy is, but thank you very much for actually keeping an eye on the minimap and taking that shot that really mattered. So what I'm doing here is I'm shooting at the Yamato to try to get his attention, to get him to stop firing at my battleship. Because usually battleships like a squishy cruiser, not that Edinburgh is that squishy, but usually like a few salvos and then they change their mind and they turn their guns to shoot at this cruiser instead. And he's actually targeting me now, so but that's with his rear gun. I want him to use all his guns. So this guy is quite smart. Like, he knows his rear gun is on me, so he uses that while he can, and he keeps his front guns on the battleship. So at this moment here, I'm pretty sure that my battleship will meet its demise. So I'm kind of thinking what to do now, and he just finishes off my battleship there. So we are ahead on points, and there's no way he can catch up. So in theory, I could just disappear now. I could just sail away and leave him to lose on points, basically. But this is a 3 versus 3, and like I said, it is mano a mano. It is the Wild West. It's Clint Eastwood versus whoever it is Clint Eastwood shoots. And so, like, I think this guy needs a chance. So I also want to pretty much take him out, basically. And because he's going towards me, I'm in torp range, so I'm going to use my torps as well. So like I said, I don't have HE, so it's going to be quite a lengthy like death of 1,000 AP shells here for this Yami. But as you can see, like, an Agile Edinburgh is fantastic in a situation like this. It is, I'm not sure it is my favorite Agile cruiser now, but it is very, very close. Hipper is my favorite Agile at the moment, but Edinburgh is right behind it. And like I said before, that's all down to the new Commander Inspirations Wargaming gave us. It has transformed this ship here. It's a wonderful, wonderful Agile cruiser now. And don't let anyone tell you different, because they just don't understand, basically. So like I said, I've done all the work in this battle here. So I think that this final 1 versus 1 is for me to decide. If I was just like the last ship alive and like one other player had done all the hard work, well, yes, I would like just retreat and let him have the victory, basically. But in this case here, I think I have earned the right to decide when this battle is over. And I think this Yamato here needs a chance to actually make a difference. And it also makes for a very interesting video, of course. And again, look at that. Like a total miss. And there is no way you can do this in a traditional Edinburgh build. And like I said before, if Yamato hits you, he will overmatch you and he will probably citadel you. And of course, if you have smoke on your Edinburgh, you can smoke up, but then you lose sight of the Yamato. And so this is really the only way to take the ship out that I can think of. Now he is getting a little bit more tricky now. He does get one hit in there, and I'm out of heals. So at this point here, I am starting to retreat. I will admit that. He's almost down to no health. So I take another look, and then I think, whatever, let's just go for it. He still needs to hit me with at least 2 nice shots before I die, and that's going to be very, very difficult. He's had like 4 or 5 salvos now, and he only had 1 shell hit me, and again they're like a total miss. So at this point here, I am going all in. This guy needs to die, and that means that I've taken out the whole enemy team on this map here with my Agile Edinburgh, and I think I've shown everything that makes Edinburgh so great. The 30mm armor, the amazing agility, the wonderful AP shells, the single fire torps, the high speed, and of course the radar and the sonar that you can use to, of course, spot DDs, but also to spot ships while you yourself remain unspotted. And that's why I really, really love Edinburgh. I used to hate this ship, I can't imagine it anymore anyway, but now I absolutely love it. One of my favorite ships, and there we go. A very good result. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you out there.